Is he all right? Is he awake?
Why do you care? Are you Death's presence now?
I'm just curious. That Templar, Cullen, said it was the quickest, cleanest harrowing he'd ever seen.
Someone sounds jealous.
I just know I'll be terrified when my time comes. Like Wendell was. He'd throw up every day for the next week just thinking about it.
Very well.
Did you hear? Hear what?
I heard Humbert volunteered to take the right
I
of
wish I
tranquility.
could leave the tower once in
How
a while.
awful!
Something so stupid. The deck set. Does blood magic is powerful? You can bend others to your will?
It shall be done.
Force demons into your service. That's what I hear anyway.
I shall do it.
Must control the fire with your will. Keep the flames steady.
Was the
You don't
harrowing
want it
scary?
sputtering and leaping
It
about.
must have been.
That's
Why
what
else would they
causes
call
most
it
of the
that?
injuries.
But...
I hope you've spoken to the first enchanter. He seems eager to see you.
It gets easier as the years go by, doesn't it?
Do you remember what the chantry says about magic?
Magic must serve man, and not rule over him.
Very good. And what do you think that means? Can anyone
The
tell me?
Templars scare me.
I'm going to be
They're
a
always
powerful
so
mage
mean.
when I
Boys
grow
are
up.
better at magic than girls.
I perfected my ice spells yesterday.
I heard your harrowing went well. That's wonderful to hear.
Concentrate, hold the shield. If I had put all my power behind that spell, you would have been obliterated. I am not your enemy. Fear is your enemy. It
I'm
is a
terrible
weakness
at
that can be
spells.
exploited.
You're lucky you're so talented. It's nice to see you still alive.
No?
Then stand firm and know you can resist whatever I throw at you. Again.
The circle is so much nicer than the alienage, isn't it?
Welcome to the Circle's stockroom of magical items.
My name is Owain. How may I assist you? The stockroom stores components used in magical and alchemical experiments. Do you require something? I voluntarily submitted to the right of tranquility. I was unwilling to undergo the harrowing. I find this state agreeable. I see the world with clarity. I remember the days when my mind was filled with inconvenient and seething emotions. Now things are simple. My body is similar in form to yours, possessing an equal number of limbs, appendages, and internal organs. I perform the same physical functions. My mind is capable of higher thought processes. Am I to be denied personhood because I do not feel as you do? People feel things to different degrees. One individual may be more empathetic than the next. Some are quick to anger, while others are not. Yet you would not single one out and accuse him of not being a person. My capacity to feel differs from yours, but you also differ from all other beings. You are no more a person than others, and I am no less a person than you are. I propose we agree to disagree. Personhood is not measurable. Therefore, we should let this rest. It is difficult to describe. I would perhaps compare it to being plunged into a pool of ice-cold water. I was ordered to never speak of it. I cannot go against the Circle's wishes. Very well. Goodbye.
If you want something from the stockroom, you must speak to Owain.
Is there something you need? You must speak to Owain.
If you want something from the stockroom, you must speak to Owain.
Welcome to the Circle's stockroom of magical items. My name is Owain. How may I assist you? The stockroom is not a shop. Your mentor should have clarified this. The stockroom stores components used in magical and alchemical experiments. Do you require something? Very well. Goodbye. Welcome to the Circle's stockroom of magical items. My name is Owain. How may I assist you? Do you find my greeting disagreeable? I apologize, but I am not inclined to change it. Do you need something? Very well. Goodbye.
Oh, hello. I don't believe we've met. Are you new to the Circle? I'm sorry. There are so many of you, and I get confused. Not to mention, these old eyes are starting to go. You're too kind. I'm old and about to fall apart. Nothing in the world can fix that. Not any magic I'd be caught doing. Anyway, did you need something? I'm not good at talking. Too much chatter makes my head throb. Don't you have lessons to get to? Shoo!
They say you passed your harrowing. You must be happy.
Very well. As you say.
Do you need something? If not, step back. You're in my light. I'm trying to study. Have some consideration for a fellow mage. Are you surprised? We are probably more attuned to magic than humans are. Or at least our ancestors must have been. With most of our history lost, I suppose I'll never really know. Maybe the Dalish elves would, but I've never met one. They live in the wilderness, traveling where they will. I've heard they keep the old beliefs alive. As do I. Perhaps one day I will have the chance to learn it. Are you from an alienage? I'm from a farm outside Highever. My mother worked as the cook's assistant there. I'm glad I didn't grow up in one of those. Life was hard on the farm, but at least we were treated fairly well. I suppose it doesn't matter where we're from, does it? We're in the circle now. I am satisfied knowing the humans who look down upon me will fear me instead. But I should get back to my books. Good day.
That's not likely. The Chantry would do something before it came to that.
Will they? They haven't done anything, and I've heard that the Equitarians are starting to soften a little on the Libertarian.
Sympathy for the position is...
I think someone's here to speak to you, Senior Torren.
Hello. Congratulations on your harrowing last night. Good work. Ah, the fraternities of the Enchanters. You probably haven't heard of them. It's best not to get tangled up in circle politics. More trouble than it's worth, really. They're found in all circles throughout Thedas. Groups of enchanters who hold similar viewpoints, who band together to make their voices heard. The most influential fraternity are the Equitarians. They are moderates and believe in a code of conduct that all mages should adhere to. Then there are the Chantry apologists, the Loyalists. The Chantry says something and they follow it to the letter. The Lucrosians just want to make money, and the Isolationists would like us all to be hermits and live on an island. Then of course there are the Libertarians. They want more power for the Circle, more autonomy. Well, if I had to, I'd say I was an Equitarian, but I ducked out of the fray a long time ago. Most of the senior enchanters are Equitarians. Irving, Wynne, Sweeney. Ulrid's a Libertarian, and a loud one at that. Mages have enough opposition from the outside without tearing our circles apart with infighting. But what can you do? An idealist, I see. Well, if you're going to change the world, you should get started immediately. Lots of world to cover.
Hello, were you looking for something? Oh, the fraternities. Groups of mages with a common agenda. I think we should all be isolationists. Stay in some remote mountain town far away from the mundanes who hate us. I'd go hide alone in the wilds if I could. But you know they just brand me an apostate and hunt me down. There is no leaving the circle. It's till death do us part. Romantic, isn't it? I'm Njal, a mage just like you. I've seen you around, haven't I? I must have. All right, have a good day.
Oh, excuse me, I didn't hear you come in. I'm sorry, I'm terribly busy right now. I have to prepare the room before the Grey Warden is done at his meeting with Irving. Yes, Duncan his name is. He must be here to talk to Irving about something important. You know, I almost became a Grey Warden once. There were several of us chosen, though the Grey Wardens only wanted one recruit. They only ever have one mage, you see. I think they thought I was the best candidate, but I was young and foolish, and I said I wasn't interested. They picked someone else instead, and that was that. I've regretted it ever since. Ah, well, I should get back to my work.
It shall be done. Very well.
Ah, there you are. You are to be moved out of the apprentices' dormitory and...
Everyone's so happy for you.
Irving wants to see you. Get going.
Greetings. I'm glad your harrowing went well. I am Cullen. I was to strike the killing blow if you had, become an abomination. I am glad you didn't. Some Templars I know discuss such things with glee. I don't share their enthusiasm. I try to serve the Maker first and foremost. As long as I am guided by his commandments, I cannot go wrong. Honestly, I've never seen an abomination, or been called on to slay one. Gregor would have guided me. Something must happen. But what if it's not obvious? Could abominations be walking among us right now? This is still new to me. Maybe one day I'll be as dedicated and driven as Knight Commander Gregor. You must be busy. Perhaps we can talk another time. I shall do it.
You look well. That's wonderful. I was thrown up for a full week after my harrowing. Delirium does
I'd avoid Leora if I were you. She's been rather testy lately. Senior Enchanter, Leora, over there.
I hear Irving's very proud of you.
Ah, this is infuriating. Another batch destroyed. Say, have you seen Owain? Is he in the stockroom? Oh, excellent. He wasn't there last I looked. I hope he still has some cinnabar lying around. When I asked last week, he said he was running out.
You're not going to keep the first enchanter waiting, are you? Oh, it's you. I hear Irving's looking for you.
Blessed art thou who exists in the sight of the Maker. Oh, hello. I'm reciting the Maker's blessings. Would you like to join me? Yes, I love that prayer. Would you say it with me? Wonderful. I'll start over. Blessed art thou who exists in the sight of the Maker. Blessed are the penitents who seek his return. May the chant reach the Maker's ears and tell him of our contrition. So let it be. Thank you for praying with me. I recite the Maker's blessings every day. It brings me peace in troubled times. No, not really. It's just... I don't want to bore you with this. It gives me hope that one day the Maker will hear us, that maybe I'll be forgiven and my curse will be lifted. Magic? What else? Magic causes such misery. It's dangerous and vile and wicked. The Chantry must protect the world from us. Being born with something so terrible must be a punishment. I wish I could be rid of it. That takes the magic from me? It does, doesn't it? Imagine. No fear of becoming an abomination. Not being reviled by common folk in Chantry. I should go. My mentor only allows a few minutes each day for religious contemplation. I heard about your harrowing. Congratulations. Andraste must have smiled upon you.
It shall be done. It is begun.
Many have already gone to Ostagar. Wynne, Aldred, and most of the senior mages. We've committed enough of our own to this war effort.
Your own? Since when have you felt such kinship with the mages, Gregor? Or are you afraid to let the mages out from under Chantry supervision, where they can actually use their Maker-given powers?
How dare you suggest?
Gentlemen, please. Irving, someone is here to see you.
Ah, if it isn't our new brother in the circle. Come, child.
This is...
Yes, this is he.
Well, Irving, you're obviously busy. We will discuss this later.
Of course. Well, then, where was I? Oh, yes, this is Duncan of the Grey Wardens. You've heard about the war brewing to the south, I expect. Duncan is recruiting mages to join the King's army at Ostagar.
Mages are uniquely equipped to combat Darkspawn. They are twisted monsters that dwell underground where the sun's light cannot touch them. They have formed into a horde in the Korkari Wilds and threaten to invade north into the valley. I fear if we don't drive them back, we may see another blight.
Duncan, you worry the poor lad with talk of blights and darkspawn. This is a happy day for him.
We live in troubled times, my friend.
We should seize moments of levity, especially in troubled times. The harrowing is behind you. Your phylactery was sent to Denerim. You are officially a mage within the circle of magi. You may not remember, but blood was taken from you when you first came to us. This blood is preserved within a phylactery.
So they can be hunted if they turn apostate.
We have few choices. The gift of magic is looked upon with suspicion and fear. We must prove we are strong enough to handle our power responsibly. You have done this. I present you with your robes, your staff, and a ring bearing the Circle's insignia. Wear them proudly, for you have earned them. Joining the Circle is a reward as well. You will realize this one day. It goes without saying that you shall not discuss the harrowing with those who have not undergone the rite. Now then, take your time to rest, or study in the library. The day is yours. Not yet. Remember, the tower's walls protect us as much as they protect others from us.
I will return to my quarters.
Would you be so kind as to escort Duncan back to his room, child? The guest quarters are on the east side of this floor, close to the library. Now, if you'll both excuse me, I have matters to discuss with Gregor.
As you say.
Move along now.
Thank you for walking with me. I'm glad for the company. Yes? What about? A horde has formed within the Korkari Wilds in the south. If they are not stopped, they will strike north into the valley. We Grey Wardens believe that an archdemon is leading the horde. Darkspawn do attack the surface in ragtag bands, but archdemons are capable of rallying the Darkspawn, turning them into an unstoppable force. A horde of Darkspawn, a veritable army. It is dire news indeed. I fear this is what we will have to face. We can't seem to eradicate them completely. Somehow they always come back. It is not my place to comment. Gregor serves the Chantry, and the relationship between the Chantry and mages has always been strained. You've realized by now that the Chantry merely tolerates magic? They watch only because they feel they must. The Chantry believes that a mage should fear his power, It was the pride of mages, they say, that brought the Darkspawn upon us in the first place. Any mages who join the King's army can unleash their full power on the Darkspawn. In fact, I'm counting on it. Gregor may be afraid of what will happen. What if the mages decide they no longer want to be governed by the Chantry? I believe we must defeat the Darkspawn, one way or another. My opinions end there. Yes, let's.
Welcome to the Circle's stockroom of magical items. My name is Owain. How may I assist you? Very well. Goodbye.
Escorting me. Is there something else I can do for you? Ah, I imagine you don't leave very often, do you? I am not a good source of news, I fear. I am preoccupied with the Darkspawn incursion. Once, in my youth, just after I joined the Grey Wardens, I was traveling with my mentor. We encountered a group of Templars hunting a blood mage. They were quite far away, so I cannot be sure of what I saw. He forced some of the Templars to turn on their fellows. It was dreadful to behold. He would have escaped had he not overlooked one Templar who snuck up behind him and cleaved his head in two. Be careful what you wish for. Power is treacherous. I've seen many people, great leaders, consumed by it. When the king sent out the call, the Circle of Ferelden sent only 7 mages to Ostagar. I asked King Kaelin's permission to come and seek a greater commitment from the Circle. I hope to place a mage or 2 within every contingent. I cannot do with just 7. Mages will make all the difference in this battle. The Darkspawn have their own magic, and our resources must exceed theirs. I don't know. Do you? Then perhaps I shall speak to Irving about this later. Darkspawn are a greater threat than blood mages, even abominations. It takes decades for the world to recover from a blight. I wish the Chantry could see that. We must stop at nothing to defeat the Darkspawn. Ah, listen to me. An old man's rantings can't be very interesting. You are too kind. The mages whose connection to the Fade has been severed? Why do you ask? It keeps them and those around them safe. Perhaps the sacrifice is worthwhile. I cannot say. Certainly. I am intimately familiar with these subjects after all. Our duty is to battle Darkspawn wherever they appear. We are elves, humans, and dwarves united by this common purpose. Some of our most honored wardens have been elves. The hero, Garahel, the last warden to slay an archdemon, was one such. The Darkspawn threaten everyone. They do not distinguish between the races, and neither should we. Has being an elf in the Circle been difficult? Elves are often treated as lower class in the cities. I was curious about your own experiences. Granted, the Circle Tower is nothing like Denerim or Val Royeaux, but certain opinions tend to persist. If one has always seen elves as less than human, it's hard to imagine them as something else. You should want respect. Fear is just a different kind of hatred. A horde has formed within the Korkari wilds in the south. If they are not stopped, they will strike north into the valley. We Grey Wardens believe that an archdemon is leading the horde. We can't seem to eradicate them completely. Somehow they always come back. Of course. Don't let me keep you.
I'm glad I caught up to you. Are you done talking with Irving? Does it really matter? I need to talk to you. Do you remember what we discussed this morning? We should go somewhere else. I don't feel safe talking here. I've been troubled. I'll explain. Come with me, please.